Good evening and welcome to the news at 10. His Majesty King Abdullah, the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, said that the relationship between the citizen and policeman should be based on mutual respect and that anyone found in breach of the law should be held to account. The Supreme Commander spoke at a meeting with Public Security Department Director General Major General Ahmed Al-Faqih to discuss a number of issues to upgrade policing work. Commenting on a recent incident in Irbid, the King said it was an isolated incident that does not represent security forces, adding that anyone breaking the law should be held accountable. During the visit, the Supreme Commander watched from the Command and Control Center policing drills simulating potential security threats, which were separately carried out by the Anti-Narcotics Department, the Royal Administration for Environment Protection, and the Protective Police. Prime Minister Hani Al-Mulki said Jordan's priority is to meet the highest standards of nuclear security and peace through its nuclear program. During a meeting with President of the Korea Atomic Energy Research Institute, Jae-jo Ha, and an accompanying delegation, Mulki said the Jordan nuclear energy program is gaining more importance due to challenges facing the kingdom in the field of energy. The government, the Premier said, depends on the nuclear program in order to increase Jordan economy's competitiveness, noting that the program will kick off a new phase of electricity production. Mulki said the Jordan Research and Training Reactor will contribute to the training and rehabilitation of manpower and turn Jordan into a center for training and rehabilitating competences at the level of the region in the peaceful uses of nuclear energy. Mulki and Ha discussed cooperation between the Jordan Atomic Energy Agency and the Korean Institute in the field of scientific research and ways to train Jordanian engineers and postgraduate students at the institute. The meeting also tackled a tripartite cooperation between the Korean Institute, the Jordan Atomic Energy Agency, and the Saudi King Abdullah City for Atomic and Renewable Energy to conduct an economic feasibility study for electricity generation and seawater desalination. Prime Minister Hani Mulki discussed with a delegation of U.S. congressional aides the historic ties between the two countries. Mulki outlined the political and economic reform program Jordan had undertaken and thanked Washington for its aid that helped the kingdom carry out its reform and development plans. He said that despite the regional turbulence and instability, his government had held 3 fair and transparent elections, parliamentary, municipal, and decentralization that reflect the people's hopes and aspirations. He said Jordan's cooperation with the United States and other world nations had helped to achieve real victories against terrorism that would pave the way for the return of stability and calm to the region and to usher in the start of the reconstruction phase in Syria and Iraq. The visiting U.S. congressional aides commended Jordan's pivotal role in the reform and development program it had undertaken, for which the kingdom had become a regional model. Separately, Minister of Foreign and Expatriates Affairs Ayman Safadi met with the U.S. delegation and discussed with them means to forge closer ties between Jordan and the United States. Talks during the meeting also dealt with a number of regional issues, mainly the Palestinian cause and the Syrian crisis, the war on terrorism. State Minister for Media Affairs Mohammed Momani also met with the visiting U.S. delegation, during which he highlighted the importance of the strategic partnership between Jordan and the United States. Momani reiterated Jordan's call for a political solution to the Syrian crisis that brings security and stability and preserves the country's territorial integrity. The minister praised military cooperation between the two countries, noting that the kingdom has long been at the forefront of countries fighting terrorism. Iraqi forces launched a mine-clearing operation in Huwayja and its suburbs after driving Daesh terrorists out of the city on Thursday. The town of Huwayja and the surrounding areas fell in an offensive by US-backed Iraqi government troops and Iranian-trained and armed Shiite paramilitary groups. With the fall of Huwayja, the only area that remains under control of Daesh in Iraq is a stretch alongside the western border with Syria, where the terrorist group is also in retreat. In sports, Australia and Syria meet tomorrow in Asia's final qualifier for Russia 2018. It will be the 20th match of an exhausting two-year 2018 FIFA World Cup Russia campaign for both Australia and Syria when they walk out into the pitch at Sydney's Olympic Stadium. For one side, however, the dream of an appearance on the world's greatest football stage next year will be over by the end of the night. As continental champions and boasting a strong record at home, Australia will start as favourites. However, Syria proved in last Thursday's 1-1 draw in Malaysia that they have enough firepower in attack to worry any opponent. And finally, relatively cold conditions continue across the kingdom for the rest of tonight, with a low of 14 degrees Celsius in Amman. Fair weather prevail in most regions tomorrow with a high of 21 degrees in Amman, while winds will be northwesterly moderate. The Gulf Aqaba should expect relatively hot conditions tomorrow with a high of 31 degrees, while winds will be northerly moderate and the sea is slightly choppy. And with that, we come to the end of tonight's news. I'm Leo Balkar. Thank you for joining us.